What's up guys, how are you doing? Ghost here. So today I've got a few things I wanted to talk about to do with the Battlefield franchise, but first of all, let us all rejoice as we watch in the lovely 60 FPS, very nice. Now I am a little bit miffed in a way with the whole 60 FPS thing. To my dismay, I discovered that I can no longer upload videos in 4K. So if you want to watch at 60 FPS, you have to either be viewing at 720p or 1080p. So 1440p, 2160p will not work. So I've sort of had to sacrifice a certain amount of quality from my videos in order to actually be able to upload in 60 FPS. So let me know what you guys think of the quality. Can you guys really tell a difference in my video quality, or does it not bother you too much? And do those extra 30 FPS make the experience all that more enjoyable? So let's move on and talk about the CTE a little bit, shall we? Obviously the past week or so, the CTE has been filled with final stands, some more testing going on there, and hopefully we will actually be receiving that DLC within the next month or so. At least that's what I hope personally. That would be really great. I'm looking forward to playing this DLC. I thoroughly enjoyed myself over on the CTE, and of course there's lots of people who didn't get to play it, so I'm looking forward to those people being able to experience it as well. As for the mysterious elusive 6 DLC, is that a thing or not? What do you guys reckon? Let me know down below. I guess we'll find out sooner or later. So with Final Stand now finished with its period over on the CTE, I expected DICE LA to go back to the good old team play initiative, but they've also brought out something new called CTE Prototypes, which is a very apt name for these because these are very, very rough changes. They're big changes. They really need some balancing, but very interesting. So the first one is actually to the attack helicopters. Massive, massive movement and agility buff to the attack helicopters. If any of you guys played Battlefield 4 back in the days of the beta on good old Siege of Shanghai, when the attack helicopter used to be much more nimble and easier to get around in, that was really fun to play. That was great gameplay. I loved that. And when the main game came out with the slow attack helis, I thought it was terrible. So the attack helis, the way they are now in the CTE, feels very reminiscent to how they were back in the beta. So attack helis, good stuff happening there. The second thing they have decided to change is the head glitching. So if you aren't aware exactly what head glitching is, it's essentially where you can have your head peeping out over a box or some sort of obstacle, and it looks from the player's perspective of the person getting shot like the guy behind the box can't actually hit him, since his rifle is behind that physical cover. But since in Battlefield 4 bullets come out of your head instead of your physical gun, he can actually do that. So the way that DICE have decided to address this is actually lowering the origin of the bullet slightly. So now instead of it coming out of your head, it will actually come out of your weapon. However, there are repercussions to this. It's really flipped the problem on its head. Previously, it was the guy being shot who was being misled. You know, he looks at the guy behind the box, all he can see is his head, and so logically he thinks that guy can't shoot me, his weapon is behind the cover, and of course he's wrong and he gets capped in the head, not to mention the fact that being able to shoot only the top of that guy's noggin is a very small hitbox indeed. However, now the situation is that the guy who's behind the box, from his point of view, it appears that he can shoot over the box, it appears that he can hit somebody who is behind that box, but his bullets actually aren't registering there, they're hitting the edge of the box, so it's a little bit misleading for him now. It actually looks like there's somewhat of an invisible wall. So I'm not sure if this change is really going to stick it, you know. Like Jack Frag said in his video, he made a good point. He said everyone's going to blame this on the netcode, and I think he's right. So they might have to take a bit of a different approach. But nevertheless, great to see DICE looking into this problem. So next up, I've got a few release dates here, or predicted release dates, for some of the new Battlefield games coming up. First of all, Hardline has been confirmed for the 17th of March 2015, of course. Not much of a surprise there, we knew it was going to be coming in the first quarter of next year, so looking forward to that one. Secondly, Star Wars Battlefront. Who's looking forward to that game? That has been predicted to be coming out in the holiday or Christmas season of 2015. So I suppose originally this would have been planned to follow a year on after Hardline, but of course Hardline got pushed back, so it's really not going to be too long after Hardline's release, if you think about it, until we will be getting our grubby little mitts on Star Wars Battlefront. In other news, of course, Free Radical's Star Wars Battlefront 3 was actually scrapped, and this footage you see in the background here was from a 2012 build, and this is pre-alpha, so it looks pretty shady, you know, it's a bit dodgy, but it's unfortunate, you know. I never like to see a game that people have been putting hours into and time into to work on get scrapped like that, never be able to see the light of day. It's always a sad, somber time for me. And finally, Battlefield 5, guys, apparently has been announced as the next Battlefield game, and that is set to come in the holiday or Christmas season of 2016. Not really sure what to make of that one. I really didn't expect this. I mean, of course, we have Hardline, then Battlefront, and then, you know, that's 2 games in between Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 5. I suppose that's not unusual, but I just thought after Battlefield 3 and 4 in a row that they would be much more likely to take the route of Bad Company 3, or maybe even 2143, or how about 2141, like a prequel to follow on from Final Stand. So what do you guys think about that? I think people would have absolutely loved a Battlefield Bad Company 3. Epic game, man. Everyone seems to be pushing for that. So I'm a little bit puzzled. Let me know your thoughts down below. And quickly before I go, I thought I'd just mention for those of you out there, especially those new console users, welcome to the CTE, by the way, guys. If you hop over on the CTE and go on Pearl Market or any of the China Rising maps, there are a few Easter eggs to be found. I would recommend going and checking out Jack Franks' video on that because he's able to showcase them. Unfortunately, I am not, because I just cannot find Pearl Market on any server. I can't find any China Rising map. So I would really like to experience these for myself, but good luck finding a server. As always, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.